Gyepi evening, my citizens. How have you been doing? I hope your day has been going well. Gyepi evening, Gyepi afternoon, Gyepi morning, Gyepi water, Gyepi may be working the best for you. We're here to continue playing our summer camp summit game in hope to complete it today, as we have quite some titles to complete just yet. The next one I'm gonna try to complete will be Melatonin, then the rhythm game that I started a while ago, the one that we're basically dreaming, and we have to play this conf but still difficult rhythm game. So for today it is Camp W just yet. Let's proceed with the adventure. Okay, there we go. I finally managed to be live once again. I've been quite busy these days, but here I am. I'm back. So, back to the game where we left it last time. I truly remember we basically confessed to our mother that we are at the summer camp among humans, and she, thanks to your grandmother, also our grandmother, agreed for you to stay there as long as you call them daily to let them know that everything is going well. And after that, once you return, you will have to study even more for your witch studies. Okay, campers, today's craft is friendship bracelets, so grab your best friend and start braceletting. Spread across a picnic table, you find all the supplies necessary for making friendship bracelets. Now if only you had a friend. Oh, hey, since we're both new and don't know anyone, I thought maybe we could pair up and make potential best friend bracelets. That sounds sweet, thank you, Sophie. Oh, thank goodness. Hey, it's a step in the right direction. Together you chit-chat while you peruse a huge variety of colored string. So tell me, what is it about witches that you like so much you want to be one? I like that they're outsiders and that they're misunderstood. Yeah, some of them more than others, and they don't care what people think about them. They're just these awesome, powerful beings that do what they want. Or at least they think they're awesome and powerful. I bet some witches can be pretty stuck up. Sophie gives you a look. And how would you know so much about witches? You're sweating, maybe you say too much. Can I let you in on a little secret? What are you doing? Have you lost your nugget? I'm into witchcraft too. You hold Nugget down in your bag, but you can't stop him from griping. Oh, thank the squirrel gods! Did your bag just say something? I don't think so. Must be hearing things. I have a pretty wild imagination. Speaking of minds, would you like to try a witchy mind meld? You don't have the heart to tell her mind melting. Is it really a technical witching term that you've ever heard? At least she's trying to. Sure. Guess which colors I want for my bracelet? You stare at Sophie for a second just to sell it, but you've already decided to simply guess. Red, purple and green, trick question. Blue and pink, trick question. That's obviously a trick question, you want all the colors? Sophie's jaw drops, she takes her own dramatic pose. Whoa, spooky! You knew exactly what I was thinking, isn't that crazy? Goodness, that face too. I mean, what are the odds? We must have known each other in a past life. Do you believe in that stuff? I do. I think I used to be a masquerade because my brother says I kind of smell like one. What? Sometimes I think I used to be a Roman centurion because once I was wearing my hair up and it kind of looked like the helmets they wear with the plumes on top, and well, it just kind of felt... Sophie realizes she just said 50 words in 5 seconds. I'm sorry, I'm usually really shy, but sometimes I get worked up and I can't stop talking. Understandable, fair enough. That's okay, and just for the record, I don't think you smell like a muskrat. The two of you exchange awkward smiles. My journey into the ways of witchcraft has been pretty lonely. There aren't a lot of kids back home who will indulge me like this. Indulge away! Thanks, well... You and Sophie spend the next hour braiding bracelets and talking all things witchy. Sophie's knowledge of witchcraft is pretty limited, but occasionally she gets it totally right. Well, seems like we're making a closer friend here finally. You wonder at which books she's been reading. When your bracelet is done, you almost can't bear to wear it, because then it might get dirty, so you tape it into your grimoire. Yay. Okay. Now that you've got a bracelet-verified friend, it'll make deciding how to sit next to at lunch a lot easier. When you arrive at the dining hall, you take a look at the menu board to see what Norm is serving up. The words turkey burgers and sweet potato fries have been crossed out and replaced with burritos. Oh, sweet potato fries are so good! Which has also been crossed out and replaced with turkey burgers and sweet potato fries or nothing. Oh, I see. You take Nugget aside to break some bad news to him. Okay, here's the deal. If you say we're skipping lunch to investigate slime, I'm going to chew your nose off. You cover your nose with your hand. We're skipping lunch to investigate the source of the seaweed and scales we found this morning. Start showing food in this bag right now, or I score this second and you never see me again. He is so mad. He's not kidding, just show some food in your bag already. If I do what you say, that doesn't make you the boss of me, just remember that. You getting in line or what, kiddo? You hide Nugget and approach the counter. Oh yeah, just filling out my diary first. It's my first summer away from home, so I'm keeping track of everything that happens, even lunch. You wave your grimoire in the air, pretending it's just an ordinary notebook. Norm just smiles back at you. A person must learn to roll with a lot of weird kid behavior working at a summer camp. Tell me, how do you feel about aiolis? Norm waves his hand above a variety of colorful sauces laid out in front of you. Aiolis? I love them! You grab a burger and nervously start scooping a spoonful of every sauce onto it, until you can barely see what you're putting all this aioli on anymore. What is aioli too? I thought you might say that. I would say aiolis are okay. It's nice to have someone to share gourmet-based puns with. You seem pretty sophisticated. Some of your bunkmates, meanwhile, are afraid of anything that's not ketchup. Lucky for them, I make a mean ketchup aioli. Norm eyeballs the rest of the campers who have already taken their seats and then leans in close to you. Don't tell them, but there's actually no ketchup in it at all. The red color is beetroot. Normally, I try to beetroot full but I'm not afraid to lie for a good cause. An Epicurean experimentation is always a good thing. Enjoy your burger and don't forget to take plenty of fries, they're actually baked. You smile, fill your tray with food, and sidle around the corner. And out the door, your hunt for clues has brought you to scenic lake with bottom on the edge of camp, right? We found the scales in the shower. That was stinky. The shower of the boys. And there was also the shampoo with the name of our mother written on top of it. Sorry, I was also taking a look at this tree. By the way, give me a second so I can turn on the lights. It's getting a bit dark here. Be right back. Also, it seems like the hot water is getting back here, the crazy hot water, I mean. Ew. The air conditioner is saving my life, literally. SOS? Your hunt for clues has brought you to Sink Lake with bottom on the edge of camp. As you stop and survey the shoreline, you can't help but think that there is something pretty fishy about the place. Norm and Todd aren't the only ones who get to make bad puns. With everyone else at lunch, things are quiet. Don't think I've forgotten sacrificing my sense of smell to help you on this little mission of yours. Sure, this sandwich tastes delicious, but I really feel like I'm missing out on something. You dump a pile of fries onto the grass, and Nugget immediately burrows into them. You know where to find me. Stuffing your mouth? Yeah, no kidding. You kick off your shoes, roll up your pant legs, and wade into the water. The bottom of the lake is soft and squishy. Strands of seaweed stand up still in the calm water. The vegetation is familiar but doesn't really look like the stuff back home in your own lake Dry Bottom. You pluck a seaweed stalk and hold it up. It's like a cuter, greener version of the thick blue-black strands that were in the boys' bathroom. You wade a little deeper, but it's just more of the same. It's kind of similar, but I really doubt they're the same species. The stuff from before was definitely from the witching realm. You keep saying that, but I still don't see why it will be in a random human kid's bathroom. A long silvery fish brushes against your ankle and you jump into the air. Yippee-jibbies! When you fall back to earth, you land on your butt in the shallow water. You look down between your legs, you see a huge footprint sunken into the mossy lake bottom. I understand here's girl here. The other day, evening actually, I found, I'm not sure if they're called crickets, if they're black, but they're like these black thingies, like grasshoppers, crickets, the black insects that occasionally enter our apartment. And I was just entering a room and then I found this thing on the floor. I think I made some noises like Courage the Cowardly Dog. So yeah, I understand the startle. Goodness. I cannot stand most of the insects, by the way. Even though I feel sorry for them and guilty at the same time, because like I tend to care about every living being, so I feel guilty that I cannot stand insects and fear them and find some of them ugly. The print is followed by another and another out into the deep water. Moss. Moss! Your mind races and you think about the moss, a green-skinned species of upright underwater dwellers who are set at the bottom of the lake back home. A reclusive bunch, the story goes that they're actually much older than witches and live much longer, but being primarily amphibious, the moss don't relate well to the witch kind and generally keep to themselves. Hydration time. I don't even have my usual bottle with me because it's currently in the dishwasher. Goodness, I'm so unprepared here. Okay. A reclusive bunch, the story goes that they're actually much older than witches and live much longer, but being primarily amphibious. The moss don't relate well to witch kind and generally keep to themselves. Hey Nugget, does the human realm have moss or, well, anything other than humans really? It has squirrels, but they don't talk, and it has roosters that apparently never shut up. Honestly, why anyone would want to live here is beyond me. You get out of the lake, approach Nugget, and hold your foot back, threatening to kick sand into his leftover dipping sauces. Does the human realm have other people-like species or not? No, that no was about getting sand in my sauces. But also no, as in no, there are not any other upright peoples in the human realm. As a rule, humans don't really get along well with anyone too different or too similar or anyone really. When the realms were divided, humans took one side and everything else went to the other. So if we swam down to the bottom of this lake, there'd be no moss houses, no moss people, no moss market with gross gelatinous underwater fish egg-based foods. Thank you for the head pat. Thank you. Don't hate on fish eggs, but no, there would not. Only in the witching realm. Hi Baba, good evening, how are you doing? You take out the scale you found, now giant, and hold it in your hand. It shimmers in the light. Between the scale and the witching realm seaweed you found, it's too much to ignore. Bet me. Bet you that moss don't live at the bottom of this clear blue human lake? I'll take that bet. What are we wagering this time? Your nuts. Which, please, you don't trifle with the squirrel's nuts, Lil. I've been saving up all spring. I wouldn't wager my whole stockpile or on anything. Fine, if there are moss living in this lake, you put whatever story I invent about studying to Mom and Gaji like you saw it with your own eyes. And if not, we call Mom and ask her to pick us up immediately. You're on. You shake hand and paw. It's time to see what's at the bottom of this lake. Or rather, what's not at the bottom of this lake. You open your grimoire to a page with just a spell. Dun dun. It's underwater. We'll have to trace this. I wanna be more precise this time. Because I did it quickly last time. No rush. Oh, it's almost perfect, come on. True witchcraft it is. The water of lake wet bottom begins to churn and swirl. A crack runs down the top of the lake, and right before your eyes it opens. Oh, a thin path straight to the center of the lake reveals itself. There's a little house. On each side, a wall of water held back as if behind glass. We'll see about that. Nugget hops up onto your shoulder and you walk the pathway into the heart of the lake. The ground is still wet below your feet, spongy and soft. Fish hop from one waterfall wall to the other. Well, nothing there. Might as well turn back. He seems frightened. As you get farther, you see all kinds of odd debris at the bottom of the lake. Vintage bathing suites, deflated floaties, and a snowmobile all lost to the water. You reach down and pick up a bikini bottom, and a small crab runs out from under it. What is it with you and touching things you should obviously definitely not touch? A massive antique safe stands just to the side of the path to the center, blocking your way. It has beautiful hand-painted accents peeking out from behind generations of accumulated silt and rusticles. Not how I usually picture buried treasure. Aren't things like this usually accompanied by a ship? Yeah, I got nothing. As you pass the safe, you see it in the distance. A structure. Oh, there's the ship that lost the safe. You wish, that's a house, an underwater house. That's me winning a bet. Oh, please. But sure enough, that's a wood house complete with a deck and a rather tasteful chaise lounge for being covered in a seaweed. That house belongs to a moss, a very crafty moss, but a moss nonetheless. Hello, moss person, Mr. or Miss Moss, are you home? You keep pressing forward towards the house, but you hear no answer. As you approach, the walls of water on each side of you get a bit shaky. I think we're stretching this spell to the limit. We might want to head back before this path collapses in on itself. Don't think I can see through your fake concern, you just don't want to meet this moss and lose your bet. Hello in there, we come in peace or whatever? I believe you, it's a house, you win, now let's go. These walls are collapsing. I knew I should have waited half an hour after eating before going in the lake. Don't worry, you won't cramp up, that's a myth. So what? In the human realm, you and I are myths. The walls are sprouting leaks. Cracks are beginning to spiderweb across. You stand still, eyeballing the house, still too far up ahead to examine closely. Nothing but water running along the ground, filling the trail from the bottom up. You turn and book it, but you're nowhere near the shore when the spell completely gives and the water collapses in on you. My fur! Up! Swim up, you amateur! You paddle furiously to the top. Nugget crawls atop your head, standing on tiny brown tippy toes to stay above the water. Finally, the lake has returned to normal. Luckily, you can swim, doggy paddle, really. Before you even say it, yes, I know, this cancels you practicing your magic. Your incredible underwater spell went off without a hitch. Not that you would cast a underwater spell, as it kind of flagrant witchcraft would definitely get you caught by humans. But if you did, it would have been amazing. When you get back to the shore, you stand in the sand tired and wet, but triumphant. You don't even have to lie that hard. It was a pretty good cast. We'd better get moving before anyone realizes we snuck away too. You arrive back at camp center and slip into the group, who are assembling for afternoon activities. Your stomach is grumbling, but lunch has come and gone while you were out casting spells. All these nuggets seemed to get his fill, so he should be in a decent mood. True. Alright, knuckleheads, it's time to decide on the day's next activity. I heard that we've been putting a lot of responsibilities on certain newcomers to do all of the choosing, and that it has been working out awesomely. There's no reason to fix what ain't yet broken a broken, as my grandpa used to say. I can't wait to be old. Old people get to be as weird as they want. This guy plans on getting weirder? Sheesh! Lil, the choice is yours. We're still doing this. Great. Archer, sports, music and dance. Sports? Alright everybody, as you all know, Blake, Miles and I have been developing a new super sport. Ultra Jumble! Patent pending. We decided we needed to start fresh after the unfortunate events of last summer involving our previous sport, regular Jumble. Lawsuits pending. We are determined that Ultra Jumble will focus much more on athleticism and grace and less on brute strength and endurance. As such, Ultra Jumble, patent pending, will incorporate a few elements from other sports that require fine motor skills and a good sense of balance, sports like polo, gymnastics, and most of all, Ultimate. Ultimate what? I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. We already know how well the returning campers fare at Ultimate. But since Leo and Sophie are new here, we're gonna have to test their ultimate destroying prowess. Sorry. The boys set up an ultimate goal at the far end of the field. They march up to you and Sophie and present you with 3 flying disc options. Before you choose, you must harden your mind, body and soul. You're warriors! This is your battlefield. Really, it looks like a pretty ordinary kickball field to me. Choose your armament. Ultra Jumble is some pretty serious business. Since Sophie went first last time, Lil, we're going to let you have first choice. You carefully wave and balance each disc in your hand before eyeballing them for defects. The time has come to choose, but which will you pick? Every round loves dragons. Give me the sticky web, an eyeball with wings, yes please. Dragons. Every round loves dragons. And by that I mean roar! Gao! You've got our attention. You take a step back, ready your arm, and whip your new disc across the field. And right into the center of the goal. Could have used magic, but didn't need to. Nice! My turn! Sophie's disc also sails into the goal and lands on the ground just a few feet from yours. It seems you two might have what it takes to be Ultra Jumbo Bros. Sophie gives you a high five before running off to collect her disc. You decide to sketch the logo from your new disc into your grimoire. Pretty cool of the bros to hook you up like that. Sketch. Okay. Alright, you kids. Not a single one of you has broken a limb yet, or had your parents called to tell us that they never actually intend to pick you up again. Usually at least one of those things that has happened by now, if not both. I think I lost my eye within like first 20 minutes of camp starting last summer. Oh my. How could I forget? I lost my favorite t-shirt in that fiasco. How could any of us forget that was the first time I'd seen an eye outside of its person before? Goodness! It was awesome. What? Excuse you? Oh, Missy, lefty. Mouse points to the sky and looks up with his one remaining eye. Are you saying that your eye went to heaven? Where else would it go? It's got you there, bro. Even with my eyes closed, I can see that this is going to be the longest summer of my life. We have to keep this streak alive for my sanity. As long as everyone here is still unhospitalized, you're staying on chooser duty. That seems awfully superstitious. You can't really think that my picking activities has anything to do with that other stuff, can you? You say that like superstitions are bad things. If you took away superstitions, pranking and maiming, there wouldn't be much left with regards to camp traditions. So you're all in on this then? None of you will make a decision, it must be me. Afraid so. So which will it be? Camp Radio Arts and Crafts or Camp Whoopie Witch History? Alright, already call me the chooser. Every summer needs a hero. Why not be that camper? That's the attitude. You're like a first living creature to orbit the Earth. That brave little dog went where no human dared go before. They sent a dog into space? That's incredible. How long did it stay there? Technically for the rest of her life. You're not doing a great job of selling this whole pioneer lifestyle. Lucky for you, you're not a dog, and this isn't the Soviet space program. Don't worry, we're all in this rocket together. Todd digs into the pocket of his cargo shorts and then tosses something in your direction. It's a new merit badge, a special gift for those of a pioneering spirit who aren't afraid to lead the way. Yay! New badge. How many badges are there anyway? And it's just about time to lift off. So what would it be? Camp History, Camp Radio. Okay, History. Get around everybody, today I'm going to show you the cursed moose head, but be careful not to stare directly into his eyes. Ruby leads the small tour group past a display case towards a moose head mounted on the wall. You're flabbergasted by what you see inside display case, that there's a cauldron, a witch head, and a wand. Oh. Hey, what's the story behind this? Those, well, it's pretty obvious what these items are. An old soap pot, a dance cap, and a pointing stick. Boring. I wanna see the cursed moose. Agreed, let's keep moving. Wait, I'd really like to know about this stuff. Hi, Rin. Hi. Fine, I like your camp W enthusiasm. I guess we have time to talk about one of them. Which one did you want to hear about? That's a fine looking stick. That hat sure is tall. Nothing says summer like hot soup. What's the deal with this cauldron pot? Well, this here's the old soup pot. And well, they used to make soup in it. That's about it. Just soup, nothing else. Yeah, what else you going to do with a soup pot? Well, where did it come from? I don't know, your old soup pot store? You ask a lot of strange questions. Sorry. You wander away from the tour group to consult with Nugget about what you've just seen. I don't care what she says. No way is that just a stick, a dance cap, and a soap pot. There's something strange going on here. I'll say, did you see that witch hat? Très gauche, that hasn't been the style for centuries. You sketched the item that Ruby just told you about in your grimoire. Might be worth following up on later. Okay. On your way back from the last activity for the day, you peel off from the group and sneak away with Nugget. The sun is setting and it's going to be dark soon. I wanna look around that garden behind the dining hall and see what kind of ingredients we can scare up for a new spell recipe. Honestly, that there are some exotic blossoms growing in there. Maybe there's another way to get the bottom of this lake mystery. I must say, I'm pretty impressed. You said you'd work on your craft, and you really have been. Sure, you spilled my sense of smell and gotten my fluff socket in dingy lake water, but nobody can say you haven't been trying. Oh, Nugget, that's sweet coming from you. I'm glad that you're here with me, sassiness aside. And I'm not completely annoyed to be here anymore. Now let's get our sneak on. This garden is incredible, even in the dark. It really is. It's like it was planted specifically to color coordinate with the night sky. You set Nugget down to explore on his own, and then leaned your face darkly into a huge bunch of berries you've never seen before for a big sniff. They call them chokeberries, but I promise they're not harmful, just a bit sore. Nerm looks just at home, with a spade as he does with a spatula. You guess by the reassuring way his head isn't currently exploding that he didn't just see you carrying on a conversation with a squirrel. Oh, hello Norm. I was just taking a little evening break to visit your plants. My gadget is a huge gardening nut, and being back here really makes me feel at home. I hope you don't mind me sneaking in like this. I thought I was alone. I don't mind at all. I have to admit, keeping up a garden this big is a serious commitment. When I'm not cooking or serving the food, I'm probably out here growing it. But I love it. It keeps me calm. As military types, we thrive on discipline and order. It might be funny to think of an old army sergeant pruning flowers, but when you look like me, people never seem to give you much growth. Nugget hears you having your conversation and sends you some primitive squirrel signs from the other side of the garden. If a budding gastronomist like myself wanted to put these chokeberries to work, how would I use them? The options are endless. Let's see, for starters they make a lovely jam. They add a great burst of acid to a nice fresh salsa. Chokeberry ice cream is a favorite flavor of mine. It pairs so well with the rich vanilla. Nugget pops back in your eyeline. He waves you to the edge of the garden. Looks like he found what you've been looking for. If you really wanted to get experimental, you could dehydrate them for a healthy berry tea, or turn them into an extract and flavor some sorghummy candies. Are you more of a fruit candy or a chocolate person? Oh, Norm, don't get me started. I could talk about sweets all night and into the morning, but you've got a dinner to serve. I wouldn't want to be responsible for anyone's missed meals. If you ever want to talk tarts, cake spice, or you name it, you know where to find me. Norm heads back into the dining hall behind you, and Nugget hops back up into your hands. A lot of this stuff looks like witching plants, so I just grabbed some of everything. Might react a little differently, but I bet we can make something work. I've done my part, now it's time to feed the squirrel. Somehow, even though he was just outside shooting the breeze with you, Norm is already mid-service with tonight's meal. It's spaghetti and meatballs night, with freshly grated cheese and beautifully placed basil leaf garnishes, which the other campers appreciate in their own ways. Sid has grabbed a whole fistful of basil and stuck them all over his face. What? It's me, the giant swamp baby of Liquid Bottom. Won't you come and play? Dude, there are some things you do not joke about. Well, Blake, I thought it was quite clear that I'm not actually a monster. Blake is sure that today, while we ran our daily foot race to the lake and back, which I won again, he saw the actual swamp baby from the story just walking around sniffing some flowers like no big deal. You look down into your back and Nuggets is staring up at you, eyes just about jumping out of his head. What's a giant swamp baby? I feel like I definitely missed something. It's just the story that kids tell. It's been going around as long as I've been here about a giant baby who lives underwater at the bottom of the lake. It's classic big great summer camp stuff. But you actually saw one today? Dude, it was crazy, I swear I saw it, but since I'm so much faster than these two jokers, I'm always to the lake like a mile ahead of them. By the time they got there, it was gone, swam away. Our moss! You really believe that a giant baby lives in the lake? Seems pretty crazy. You too, new kid? Whatever, I know what I saw. And next time I see it, I'll catch it and prove that it's real. Has everyone gotten their badges mixed up? Scary storytelling time is late night. Now it's time for showing camp spirit. It's cheer time. Wilfred immediately stands, tosses his napkin to the floor and crosses his arms defiantly. Somehow he has manifested a huge retro boombox that now sits on the table. Finally, it is here my chance to shine. Well, that's a serious stereo. A little extra juice and we could really shake the walls. Hold your horses, Wilfred. You know the deal, we take turns leaning chairs around here. But my soul, it cries out to dance. If I was your soul, I'd be crying too. I thought that this year it really set the tone for the summer by starting off with a classic cheer. There's plenty of time later for these modern hip-hop shenanigans. Speaking like a true senior citizen, are our modern hip-hop shenanigans disturbing your nap time, Grandma Robbie? History has had its day. Odd days, in fact. I was thinking that we could really take this whole ritual into the future. Water. History has had its day, odd days in fact. I was thinking that we could really take this whole ritual into the future. With an augmented reality drone-powered light show, Ella has done a complete topographical scan of the dining hall and prepared a multimedia performance that, I must say, is quite dazzling. I wrote the music. No one at home can know I dance. When I told my mother I wanted to join a hip-hop crew, she got scared I would get hurt and forbid it. This is my only chance to shine. I need this. I mean, what can I say? I can choose because I literally can choose. I want to sell all three, but there's just no time for that. We're on a tight schedule, Lil. What do you think? Dance, little man, dance. I'm a little worried what might happen to Wilfred if he has to hold this dance in for a second longer. You can barely get the words out when in dramatic fashion Wilfred throws plates off of the table, clearing a spot for him to stand. He lays down some cardboard and jumps up. You're cleaning that up. Wilfred presses play on his boombox and a tape begins to roll, blasting a bombastic 80s beat. Arustasha, 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 hey. Arustasha, 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 hey. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Wilfred spins in a circle and strikes a new b-boy pose with his thumb up. Arustasha, 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 hey. Oh, so it's one of those call and response deals where you need to match his pose. Cute. Goodness. Knees together, back spin. Thumbs up, knees together, back spin. What? Wilfred drops down on his back and spins in a circle like a ninja who is also a turtle, his feet trailing in the air above his head. While everyone stands in awe, Mouse jumps into action, matching the move on his own portion of the dining hall table, which he has hastily cleared off. The heat of a dance battle is no excuse for making a huge mess in a common area. Why do I find myself constantly reminding everyone of this? Sweating now, Wilfred returns to his feet. To keep pushing the envelope, he cranks up the beat. Arustasha, 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 hey. Arustasha, 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 hey. Thumbs up, knees together, back spin, head spin. What is a head spin? Count exorcist. Wilfred, with Miles right beside him, just jumps on his head and spins like a top. Miles spins more like an off-balance top that a dog has chewed on a bit, but a top nonetheless. The kids in the dining hall are going bonkers cheering. And it's a tie. Sorry to press pause on this killer mixtape, guys, but you need to leave a little something for the sequel. It's the second day of camp, not the final night. It's not even a Saturday. Wilfred looks devastated. He clearly has something amazing up his sleeve, but can't catch his breath to protest this incredible injustice. My man, I never knew you were a b-boy too. I've been dancing in the mall parking lot all spring. What the heck? Made $17 in tips before I was chased away by some fiercely territorial cookie-selling Girl Scouts. I even got invited to the Southeast Conference Hip-Hop Dance Battle Under 13 Championship this fall. After a first dance-off, we always hug it out. Can't have bad blood. Miles grabs Wilfred and wraps him up in a big hug. The two drip sweat onto the dining hall table. Enjoy it while it lasts. I'll get you two a couple of mops. Try not to spend the whole night Fred staring. You're not leaving this till this is spotless. Wilfred really should cheer up. After all, his stereo is banging. Your mom would never let you play music that loud. Another sketch? It is. Another sketchy sketch. With a nice cheering session complete, everyone returns to their seats to finish eating their dinner. Wow, that was spirited. I'm not totally sure what those cheers have to do with summer camp. Nobody even mentioned camp, summer, banks, or anything. That's the thing about summer camp, it's not supposed to make sense. Everyone here at Camp ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ and at camps around the world are joined together in an act of collective madness. Barely supervise the children during the most precarious years of their lives, drop it in the middle of the woods and left to their own devices for months at a time? We aren't simply all ignoring how bad of an idea that is, but we're ignoring it together. That's camp. Speaking of, let's go play in the dark. You join your new friends in front of camp center to decide on the night's activity. We've had a lot of organized activities today and I gotta say, you kids killed it. At this rate, this is gonna be a summer for the record books. But when the stars show up, structure goes out the window and things get weird. Like, invent your own activity weird. And to be clear, this isn't picking activities, it's making them up from scratch, so we're not beholden to any additional previously existing superstitions. So, who's in? I never leave home without a thumb drive loaded with my top 10 midnight movie selections. It's like my own personal criterion collection, except that every movie has exploding heads, not just scanners. I have successfully communicated with spirits at least 3 times. By the looks of the moon tonight, I'm fairly confident I could make it 4. My boys and I know a spot in the woods with alleged black widow nest. You know how everyone swallows 8 spiders a year in their sleep? I bet I could swallow 8 at once. Ew, I don't even know where to start. Spiders build webs, not nests. The whole spider swallowing thing is bogus, and why would you even want that? To get superpowers? No dude, that's a spider bite, and also sadly, not really how it works. My brother got bit by a spider and it was just really itchy. They didn't even lay eggs under his skin, it was super boring. But I can vouch for this spot in the woods. The spiders are there because there is a huge collection of other cool bugs that I figure the spiders are there to eat. See, I know science too. Maybe the bros could go antagonize a nest of black widows and Sophie could talk to them after the spiders devoured them alive. Yeah, and if you guys could work it out so the spiders all bite your head, maybe they'd explode. Whoa, one activity at a time, guys. So we've got a schlock screening, a seance, or a good old-fashioned bug hunt. That's a really tough call. Before anyone else can weigh in, you shout out your personal preference, it's habit by this point. Seance. When you get to the arts and crafts hut, what was a cute little shack during the day now feels more than a little bit spooky. Tonight, with everyone's help, I will attempt to reach out to another realm and make contact with the great beyond. I wonder what's gonna happen here. Everyone joins Sophie, sitting in a circle on the ground. You think she can pull this off, or is it just more human playing around? We know she's not a witch like us, but these kids seem to be full of surprises. Either way, I'm excited to find out. Me and the undead never seem to get along. I think my vivacious spirit and devil may care attitude makes them jealous. I'm gonna sit this one out unless you need me. I brought my favorite spirit board, which we will use to invite visitors from the other side to communicate with us. Just clear your minds and put the tips of your fingers on this planchette, and we will let the spirits take hold of us and guide it. Everyone puts their hands on their heart-shaped planchette, and things get quiet enough to hear a squirrel snore. Shh! I feel something. The planchette begins to slide across the board. Are you doing that, dude? No, it's just moving. Spirit, tell us your name, so that we might address you directly. Something is flowing through me. Far? You're telling us you're still far away? Too far to reach? The planchette moves again. T. What? Miles makes an epic fart sound, and the other bros break down in laughter. What the heck? Oops, I think a spirit escaped. Not fun. Maybe you doofuses should escape this mortal coil and leave us to it. Sorry, Sophie, please continue. It's okay. When looking out into the darkness, it's human nature to try and diminish the unknown or hide from it. But there is more to the world than just what we see around us. Everyone returns their hands to the planchette and it begins to slide. But it's not moving, it's spinning in a circle. It stops when the point is aimed directly at you. Lil, you're trying to reach Lil? Oh my goodness. It slides to yes. I don't understand, what do you want from me? The planchette begins to slide faster now. Home. Oh no. It's calling out to you. It wants you to help it find its way home, maybe? Work. Oh jeez. Did your chemistry teacher die in a freak baking soda volcano accident or something? Did you recently flunk a class in the dark arts? This is getting a little close to home. I guess I'm the one making awkward jokes now. Maybe we should take a break. Tangling with dark forces like this will take a lot out of anyone. I'm pooped. Next time, will you help me reach out to my old pet parrot, Petunia? I still think about that bird every day. Sophie smiles her big goofy grin, dispelling any leftover spirits in one fell swoop. Anytime, Sid. That smile too. The design of Sophie's spirit board inspires an original drawing for your grimoire. Yay, drawing time. Pretty. Before heading back to the bank after the final activity of the night, you decide to stop by the lake once again with nuggeting tool. Rather than divide the water and walk to the bottom of the lake, you prepare to call out directly to the mysterious moss. You hold the scale you found that morning in your hand and open your grimoire. It's time for the spell Lucid Link. Ooh. Let's go. I wanna be a bit quicker this time. I think otherwise I will take too much time. Yay! The smooth scale hits up in your palm. You can feel it vibrating ever so softly. Eyes closed, your mind becomes quiet, and in front of you, a hazy silhouette appears in the dark. I call upon the owner of the scale. Hear my voice and respond, I must speak with you here and now. Could you call back? I'm in the middle of something. Oh, it's kind of important. Just kidding, I figure you must be serious since you, how do you say, entered my mind at all. I'll be right there. A moment later, a figure emerges from the water and approaches you. What the hell is that? He's green from head to toe, but he isn't gross and slimy like you expected. Instead, his scaly skin twinkles in the moonlight. Like, what was he doing in the shower of the boys' room? Goodness! Must I expect someone a bit older? That's some pretty advanced magic you're wielding. I'm Harland. Harland. Oh my goodness. Lake lover, bathroom violator. I apologize for intruding, Harland. I stopped by your house earlier, but you weren't home. I didn't know how else to reach you. I'm Lil. I'm actually from the witching realm, but I traveled over here to the human realm a couple days ago. Me too, I thought that might be what this was about. Did my foe send you to bring me home? You're a bit young for bounty hunting, aren't you? That pose. Is that squirrel your partner? Which one of you is the bad cop? Oh no, no one sent me, I'm definitely not a bounty hunter. And this is just Nugget, a friend of mine. No cops here? Nugget gives a quick nod, but stays quiet for now, watching how this plays out. I'm stayed at this camp, Camp Whoop-Witchy. I used some spells to track you down to talk to you. You left quite a mess and I'm a little worried that someone might figure out you're here and get us both in trouble. I'm trying to lay low. These kids are kind of obsessed with monsters and scary stories. I wouldn't want them to discover us and get the wrong idea about you or me. Oh, I'm so sorry. You must live in one of those quaint little cabins, huh? I mean to clean up after myself, honest, but I heard someone come in and I bolted. The last thing I like is messiness. You must believe that the irony is not lost on me. But the lake in this realm is so clean, I didn't want to spoil it by swimming around still coated in slime from the other side. Everything is really bright around here, right? I know, and being the only moss in a whole lake, it's basically a dream come true. Back home the lake is so crowded and dirty I can't stand it. By the way, the scenery is so pretty indeed. So, is that why you're here? More or less? To be honest, I'm not totally sure why I'm here. I was taking a walk in the woods, harvesting some ingredients to create a special moss skincare line I've been formulating. Living underwater can be really tough on your skin, so cosmetology has become something of a personal passion of mine. My parents think I'm wasting my time, but who doesn't want to feel soft and smell nice? Anyhow, I was wandering through a lovely patch of purple windflowers when I saw a portal. I'm not the only one on a crossroads summer adventure, huh? I don't know what came over me, but I felt a luxurious warmth coming through and I just walked right into it. Not that I'm here with my own private lake, it's like a dream come true. Before your small talk can wander any further along, Nugget finally pipes up. Listen pal, I'm gonna cut to the chase. You're playing a dangerous game. Seaweed hanging all over the place, shampoo dragging in from another realm, gigantic footprints leading out from an underwater layer. Your bathroom escapade almost exposed a soul. Luckily, these humans are a little slow on the uptake and seem to have been thrown by the footprint threads on your sandals. But if they do catch on, well, a lake creature, a teen witch, and an incredibly handsome talking squirrel, what happens to us then? We think you might want to relocate back to the witching realm before you get us all thrown into monster jail. So he's the bad cop, after all. Thank you for the hit rate. Is it double hit rate? Baba? Thank you, thank you. I was really needing that, actually. I'm sorry, folks, but I'm not leaving just like that because you're a little nervous. A little nervous? Because of you. It's absolutely beautiful here, and my summer is just getting started. At home I share a bedroom with 12 brothers and sisters. Here I have my own lake. Why don't you go back? This escalated really quickly. I swear we're not here to boss you or anyone else around. Give us a second, please. You and Nugget step a few feet down the beach to confer. You heard him. He's not going anywhere, even though he stands out like a 50-foot tall thumb. Maybe we should get out of here and let him fend for himself. But I don't want to go either. We just got permission to stay. Why leave now? Maybe we can cooperate on some kind of joint solution. We can count on this guy to protect our secret. The longer we stand out here exposed trying to be polite, the more likely we are to get into trouble. You're going to turn and run away with your fluffy orange tail between your legs just like that? Does it hurt now, too? Just then, a man in a dark robe steps out from the tree line and approaches you on the shore. What? Who's that? A mask obscures his face. A powerful witch doesn't compromise, especially not to protect the sensibilities of a handful of know-nothing humans. Who the hell is that? If you want to look suspicious, definitely wear a creepy mask all the time. Power is never needing to ask for anything. That's the position you should be taking. Be powerful. The masked man waves Harland over. Harland here gets it. Back in the witching realm, you're just another moss, another witch, another child, another servant, but here in the human realm, here you're quite special, you have knowledge, abilities, powers, you shouldn't be hiding, you should be leading. That's a weird thing to hear from a guy in a creepy full body robe who stepped out of a shadow and won't even let us see his face. Lil, did you bring some more backup? I'm not sure why you guys are so hung up on this. I'm not hurting anyone. I'll go home when I feel like it. This guy isn't with me. It's my first time seeing him and I'm already starting to hope it's my last. So, who are you then, spooky dude? Ah, don't you get it by now? What you know and when you know it is entirely mine to decide. But I will happily tell you. I too am from the witching realm. Though I didn't just recently come over like the two of you have, I've been here for some time living among these humans. This cloak and mask, I will admit, are enchanted against any would-be meddlers, a precaution I must take. You're not wrong to be worried about the humans. They are petty and suspicious. They would tie you up if they caught you, poke holes into you, to see what you're made of. But only if you let them, only if you make the mistake of trusting them. I can tell you are too smart to make that mistake. And you... Me? The masked man extends a long wrinkled finger towards you. You're a strong witch. I saw you open that gate and step through it. Oh, so you opened the portal, Lil? Could have mentioned that 2 minutes ago. I don't know what you think you saw, but it isn't like that. I didn't open the portal, it just appeared. With some lessons, you could be even stronger. Dude, if you know me so well, you should know that I'm sick of lessons. It was nice to meet you, Harland. The masked man doesn't bother following as you walk away. Be seeing you. Well, now I've got the heebie-jeebies. Great. Anywho, you and Nugget share a concerned look on your walk away from the lake, but no one says a thing. Before heading in for the night, you give a quick call home on your old Nugget phone. You don't want to worry them, but it would definitely be nice to talk to your family right about now. Nugget, assume the position. Too far away might fit my room. I'm never truly far from home. For with me always is a gate through which I may communicate. I call upon you, Nugget phone, connect me through this spectral zone. As you said the words, Nugget is taken by the trance. Transmit my message loud and clear so those who love me most may hear. Nugget becomes still like a statue. He opens his mouth and... Nugget tightens up and goes blank in the eyes. Behind him, Gadget materializes in thin air. No mom tonight? Hello, Lil. No, your mother has some kind of executive retreat she just couldn't miss. But she'll be home in the morning. You know, business witch stuff. Well, as per our agreement, here I am calling home. And how lovely it is to see your face, my dear. But even in this light, I must say, you look quite pale. Is something the matter? Now that you mention it. Well, I found out that the moss is living at the bottom of the lake. Somehow he got here from the witching realm and decided to try living here for a while. His name is Harland and he was actually quite lovely. He truly does not want to return back to the witching realm, however. It's not always our place to tell others what to do. In my dealings with moss, I found them to be just about as fair-minded and reasonable as witches. Which is to say, kinda sorta. What can you do? People are people. About that, I met someone else new. A camper? A concealer? A witch. Lil, out with it. I was talking to Harlan the Moss when this creepy old man in a dark robe showed up out of nowhere. At least, I think it was a man based on his voice. He was hiding his face behind a mask. He told me he was a witcher, wow, that he was from the witching realm, but that he left long ago and he knew that I was a witch. He didn't like humans, told me not to trust them, and started on a crazy rant when Nugget and I decided to get out of there. He didn't try to do anything, but everything was wrong about him. What did his mask look like, and his robe? The robe was a dark purple number. The mask had looked very old, pretty, with lots of decoration. Never seen anything like it before. It wasn't a disguise so much as a very bold fashion statement. Well, I don't like the sound of this one bit. It's a good thing your mother isn't here. She will be on her way to get you right now, with her three most powerful ones holstered for battle. Do you think I need to be worried about this guy? Since the portal closed, I don't know where they'd go. When the realms divided, pathways between them became few and far between. Only very powerful and practiced witches can maintain a steady portal. But that isn't the only type of pathway. There are other gates left behind from the old days, which are still active. These can only be used once, however. After you step through them, they will close for good. I know of one on the other side nearby that you could use in a pinch. It's at the bottom of Lake Dry Bottom, or I suppose Lake Wet Bottom, as they call it over there. It was stashed inside a giant safe and sunk to the bottom of the lake. Oh, I remember the safe. If you step inside the safe and close the door behind you, when you open it, you will be back in Coventry. This masked man shows his painted face again. You head to that safe and hop inside. Yes, Gadji. There are certain witches who believe that our craft makes us superior to humans, and they seek to disrupt the balance of the realms. But all witches come and go, no matter their power, a cycle that can be halted. Those who seek to change the order of things always destroy themselves in the process, leading them on a course with no reasonable conclusion. Do you understand? Yes, Gadji. I'll be keeping an eye on you, but you still need to do your part to stay safe, or else this little summer camp experiment will come to a hasty conclusion, got it? Your Gadji is really laying it on thick, but now's definitely not the time to play the know-it-all. Yes, Gadji. Alright, my dearie, it's time for you to get to bed. I love you, and your mother loves you. I love you too, Gadji. As the call ends, Nugget returns to his normal form. What did I miss? You told her about that mask-wearing creepazoid? I did. I kind of got the impression that she knew who I was talking about, but she didn't really say. Either way, summer is still on. Great. With day 2 come and go, you tuck in for the night. Think about all the fun humans have at summer camp. Nugget is clearly on the same page. Burritos, turkey burgers with fries, spaghetti and meatballs. Talk about an active life. These humans are a go on another level. Lil. But you're already asleep. Good idea. Hey, sleepyhead. I know it's nice to lay here in the dark, tucked in under a warm blanket. The soft sound of crickets chirping off in the distance. Just describing it is making me sleepy too. But you've got more summer camping to do. You awake suddenly, as if you just closed your eyes only a second before. Not dreams, but something else lingers in your mind. That masked man. Nugget peeks out from under the cover of the bed. What a creepy dude. Right? When you're that creepy, you must know it. You're doing it on purpose. It's a bold choice, that's for sure. Nobody ever says, remember that really lovely encounter I had with that guy wearing a creepy mask? I bet all his friends wear masks too. Hey, nice mask, you get it down at Michael's Masks on 3rd? Fanciful faces on North Main, actually. They were having a buy one, get one half off spooky special. You saw the joke by covering up your face with both hands, so only your eyes peek through. Nothing beats the sound of squirrel laughter, but it doesn't change the fact that there is a masked weirdo on the loose. Nugget sees the look in your eyes and recognizes it. I say we head back to the lake, just to check it out and see what's up. Stay one step ahead. Good idea. Thanks for having my back, Nugget. When you arrive at the lake, things feel quiet. Maybe a little too quiet. Yeah, I said it. You hold on to Harlan's scale, tapping into the residual energy of the spell you cast the day before, but don't sense his presence. Nothing? Nada, I don't think anyone is home. You think he went off with Mr. Creep? I don't really think so. If he didn't trust us, why would he trust that guy? That's a good point. Maybe he's hiding out. Maybe we should be hiding out. Gaji said she was looking after us. I'm not about to give up on the first good summer of my life because of some skulking weirdo in a bathrobe. You know what? I'm gonna call her. She won't be expecting it, and I bet I'll make her smile. You know the drill. Though far away might fit my room, I'm never truly far from home. For with me always is a gate, through which I may communicate. I call upon your Nugget phone, connect me through the spectral zone. Nugget takes his signature Nugget phone pause as you recite the communication poem. Transmit my message loud and clear so those who love me most may hear. Somewhere across the realms, the Nugget phone ring-a-ding-dings. Well, hello dearie, I thought you might call. You did? Sometimes when I hope for things real hard, they happen. I'm a lucky old girl in that way. It's okay to be worried about that stranger from yesterday, I am too. But being afraid is never the answer. Fear is what led him down his path to wearing purple pajamas. Afraid of humans, afraid to show his face, afraid to face the family and friends he has disappointed. That's why he's there, and don't forget it no matter what he says. Think about those you love and those who love you back, and the strength of your convictions will always keep you safe. Being a good witch is not a responsibility, it's not a duty, it's a privilege, it's your gift. Thanks, Gaji. You always give awesome advice. Be good. Are you tearing up a little bit, Lil? That old lady really does give superb advice. You soak up her strength and hold it tight as the call comes to an end. When Nugget comes to, he knows how the call went just by looking at you. She's some lady that got Gwina. Now let's get our breakfast on. When you get to the dining hall, you sense a strange vibe in there. Norm doesn't immediately greet you at the door like usual, and the food being served is just a normal breakfast buffet with cereals, eggs, and waffles. It looks and smells delicious, but it's not what you expected. Where's the cafeteria man? Usually he's all up in your business by now. You see Norm back in the kitchen, sharpening a massive cleaver. He has an intense look on his face. Whoa, what's for lunch? Rock of Dragon? Shh! Looks like Chef Norm has his war face on. Usually he's pretty goofy, but sometimes I think he has combat flashbacks or something. I don't know, he gets really serious and shuts off from time to time. It's like he's preparing for battle or something. What kind of battles happen at Camp Whoopie-Witchy? Warrior Norm? Yeah, Leo's first time seeing him get all. Norm has been the cook at camp for years, way before Sidorai started coming. Before that he was some kind of elite super soldier or something, or at least that's what I heard anyhow. Guy has probably seen some crazy stuff. Did you know he lives out here in the woods all year, even when the camp is closed? Sounds peaceful. Peaceful like Rambo, maybe. I would avoid pushing hit buttons if I were you. Oops, did he hear us? See ya! Rubian's seat split when Norm makes his way over to you. His expression immediately lights up, however, back to the softy you've learned to expect. Hey Norm, what's up? Just preparing for lunch service? A chef's work never stops. How's the diary coming, by the way? Do you draw or just journal? You remember that the last time Norm saw you with your grimoire, you passed it off as a diary. It was a good enough fib once, so why not use it twice? I like to doodle. The school I go to during the year makes sure everyone takes lots of art classes. Well, lucky you, you clearly aren't from around here then, because art in this part seems to be a fading priority, which is really a shame. Would you mind showing me some of your drawings? You reach down to your bag and Nugget is inside holding your grimoire. He's giving you a very dirty look and shaking his head. No. But you rustled the book from him anyway. You open it up to your scrapbook pages and drawings without flipping directly past anything sensitive. It's just some memories and moments from the past few days, nothing special. Well, even at a glance, I can tell you've got an excellent eye. Keep it up, you're on your way to greatness, kid. Hot tip, if you grab a waffle, I set out a bit of homemade chocolate syrup just for you. Consider it done. As you make your way down the breakfast buffet line, you slide your grimoire back into your bag. If I weren't so hungry right now, I'd be furious at you. Peeking it through your grimoire in front of some human? Some stranger? He's not a stranger, he's Norm and he's totally cool. It's not like I handed that thing over to him anyway. What's he going to do? I don't know, and you don't know, that's the whole point. Don't be afraid, that's what Gaji told me. Careful is not afraid. Nugget pours a pile of waffles into your bag and closes it behind him. Whatever, you've got plenty of other friends to talk to while you sit down and enjoy your breakfast. And the syrup is, as promised, sweet and tart and overall amazing. When you arrive at Camp Center, you push past Todd and Piper and take your position at the front of the group. Good morning, campers! Is everyone ready for the first activity of the day? Whoa, Nelly, somebody finally got around to hanging up their motivational posters, I see. Yesterday there was one, Ruby. Today there are two. One more and I can probably just stay in bed for the rest of the summer. Well, now who is gonna end up deciding what to do today, so let's get on with it. Follow me to... Archery. You walk out to the archery field and join Wilfred, your safety buddy. Hi Wilfred, what's up? Ready to shoot some bows and arrows? Oh no, not today. For today is the culmination of my master plan. Today I shall not simply taste freedom, today I shall gobble freedom up whole and spit out its boons. So you don't want to shoot bows and arrows? Wilfred takes a walkie-talkie out of his pocket. Alpha leader, this Mr. W mission is a go. We're at the rendezvous point. You smile at Wilfred's cute gag until you're interrupted by a gust of air and a loud whirring sound overhead. The sky darkens and you look up and see Ickley, who Wilfred was talking to. A tactical chopper hovers over the archery field and drops a ladder down. Wilfred remains remarkably calm as the wind blows around him. You prove yourself a worthy sidekick. You're welcome to accompany Teddy and me if you wish. No, I'm good. I think I'll stay, on the ground. Have it your way. See you in the next life. Alpha leader, you're clear for takeoff. Wilfred grabs hold of the ladder and the chopper begins to ascend. What the? I think he just flew away. As Wilfred flies off, Teddy slips from his grip and falls to earth. You notice that Teddy, on his current trajectory, is going to land right in the middle of the archery range. He'll be target practice. You have to do something quick, lest Teddy be skewered by an arrow. Theodore, no! You quickly open your grimoire and look for a spell that might help. Feet are full. Okay, let's go. You guide the bear safely into your arms, and once he's secure, you shout up to Wilfred. Don't worry, I'll take good care of Teddy. You see Wilfred say something to the walkie-talkie, the chopper descends, and Wilfred steps down next to you. Wilfred tearfully grabs Teddy from your arms. I couldn't do it, not without you, my oldest friend. You talking to me or the bear? Wilfred hugs Teddy, close to his chest as Piper approaches the two of you. What's going on over here? Nothing much, just keeping Wilfred and Teddy company. Whatever. Wilfred runs off, hurt tossed by chopper gusts, clutching his bear. Nugget is great and all, but you have to wonder, what would it be like to have a Teddy of your own? Sketching a Teddy, I guess? Yeah. That's one big Teddy with a tiny head. Talk about a whirlwind activity. After almost having your metaphorical wake blown off by a helicopter, it's time to get some lunch. As you head into the dining hall, you notice that there's no menu on the board. There is, however, a huge clump of campers and counselors at the center of the room, making quite the commotion. Ruby comes running over to you, her eyes frenzied. Did you hear? ∞Edward McGrapkin, most famous camper in Camp Whoopie history, first and only recipient of the Bear Claw bracelet, has returned to the camp. Do you think he will sign my sash? I'm so nervous to talk to him. How do I look? Should I go get all my badges? You look like the perfect camper, you radiate excellence. As Ruby runs over to say hello, Edward turns and your eyes meet. Is it the rope guy from before? Oh, great. Most famous camper. Your heart sinks to the floor. You've looked into those eyes before. You didn't like what you saw then, and you still don't like it now. Look, that has to be him, right? What is he doing here? And what is he wearing? This is bad. Let's get to the woods and call Gyepi. Campers and consolers alike fawn over Edward, each trying to get a word with the legendary alum. But before you can retreat back out the way you came in, Lil, come here, today is an incredible day, and you're about to have the honor of a lifetime. Alarm bells are sounding in your brain, but there's nothing you can do. You freeze in place as Edward zeroes in on you and makes his way over, the entirety of camp following behind him. Seriously, how is no one creeped out by this guy? Edward leans in to speak to you, grabbing you by the wrist as he does. His fingers are like a giant spider's legs wrapping themselves around your arm. My, what a spiritedly looking camper we have here. I get the very distinct feeling that this is your first ever summer away from home, am I correct? Yikes. You recall at his touch, resting your arm away and putting a few feet between you and him. Who, me? Oh no, you've got me all wrong. For summer at Camp ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ, sure, but I've been to plenty of the other summer camps. Got more than one boondoggle hanging off the old knapsack, if you know what I mean. Edward's mouth twists into a smile. And what have you heard about me? I don't mean to toot my own horn, but, well, toot toot, I got quite the reputation around these parts. He sounds very annoying. Legendary toilet salesman, let's go. ⴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ. Nope, can't say it rings a bell. Wait, I remember you now. You're the most famous camper to ever attend Camp ᴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ. You invented that stool that you put your feet up on when you go to the bathroom. My mom insists that it makes for a much smoother experience, if you know what I mean. Edward's smile twitches ever so slightly. Or no, hold on. Have I got the wrong guy? I read that actor does the voice of that mean bird in all those kind of movies. That bird really cracks me up. You wait for Edward to get upset and lash out at you, exposing himself, but he remains composed. Ah, that's the Camp ᴄᴏᴍᴜ spirit, pretending like you don't know who Edward ⴄᴏᴍᴜ is. You're an intro prankster, someone clearly got the memo. No joke. That's what I was told. I think they even put it in the camp brochure, Camp ᴄᴏᴍᴜ, the camp with the famous bird voice guy. Dedication to the beat, I like it, you're a spunk, just aren't you a once-in-a-lifetime merit badge. Edward unpins a metal badge from his vintage sash and hands it to you. It's a really creepy merit badge. This badge is proof that the wearer is a skilled shenaniganser. Thanks, I guess. Isn't a school a little morbid for merit badge design? Back in my day, we used to appreciate human anatomy. We've all got skulls, you know. Or maybe you don't know, do kids still dissect the bodies of a deceased prison inmates in their science classes anymore? Kids these days, right? Nothing like when we were young. What the hell?
Thanks for being a foxy fox.
Oh, thanks to you for being here, Baba. Edward, we will be staying for lunch and joining us at our afternoon activity. It will be an absolute honor to have you spend the day with us. Why aren't you a complimentary one? I do say that is quite the appealing offer, but I have some business to attend to first. Don't fret too, I'm not going anywhere. Oh goody, be seeing you. Riding the high of Edward ⴄᴏᴍᴜ's surprise visit, the campers are excited to head back to activities after lunch and make some fresh camp memories of their own. I gotta say, with Edward ⴄᴏᴍᴜ showing up like that, do you kids think it has anything to do with this epic activities streak we've been on? If we keep this up, who knows what else will happen this summer? No pressure, Lil. The other kids are staring at you so hard you worry for a second that you might just catch on fire. What would it be? Camp radio. You're just in time. Our little AE has made quick work of that alien code. Whoa, you guys are going to have to catch me up to speed. So the other day we received an alien code in response to the message we blasted out into space. Should we call the government about this or something? Please, they have enough to worry about without adding aliens into the mix. So then we inputted that code into our AE to decipher it. And here it comes. The remote terminal stationed outside the radio tower begins spitting out a printout of the translation in no time flat. You immediately recognize the markings on the page. However, the other campers are thankfully puzzled. It's just a bunch of gibberish. What do you think it could be? Some kind of recipe for interdimensional fuel? Or maybe a cryptocurrency mining tool? Or maybe ⴬ⴜ is just messing with us. While the twins are distracted, you have a quick sidebar with Nugget. Did you see that? I did. It's a food delivery spell and it looks delicious. I'm going to incant it. In front of an audience? Sure, sounds fun. Let's see how long it takes for these tolerant, science-minded kids to make you their next dissection project. No way, you heard them. They think this alien stuff, I'm going to do it. Alright, where do you want me to scatter your ashes? You close Nugget back in your bag. Maybe I could help. The twins give you an incredulous look. Oh yeah? Go ahead, knock yourself out. Gosh, words on an image, maybe if I read them out loud while tracing my finger along this outline. You pick up the printed spell and trace a pattern on the page while reciting the words. Okay, pizza portal. Pizza! Yay! Pizza, pizza, pizza! When you finish, the paper magically turns into a pizza. The twins look at you in amazement. Heh, lucky guess. Luckily, the twins are too astonished by the sudden matter transmogrification to scrutinize your lucky guess excuse. It seems to be some sort of spherical dough-like object topped with a gooey lactose layer, covered in an assortment of various flora and bite-sized fauna byproducts. Ezzy, it's a pizza! Oh yeah, wow, alien pizza! Of course you know this to be a very popular witchy pizza, to be exact. Sliced toadstool, hibiscus and frog fruit with extra cheese. You wonder, are there two kids in the witching realm just like Ella and Ezzy who received a message all about humans instead of the pizza they ordered? Well, if aliens sent us a pizza, it would be rude of us not to eat it. The group digs in, devouring the whole pizza save for one slice, which the twins insist on keeping for experiments later. Sketch time. Fueled by pizza power and the thrill of some harmless deception you feel like you can take on the entire world on your way back from your afternoon activity, clouds gather above the center of camp. What has always felt like a serene and peaceful place takes on a sinister tone in these newfound shadows. Heads up, Bucharest, looks like a storm's brewing. Oh, I hope so. The first rain of summer is always an incredible thing. The look, the smell, it's enchanting. Really, feels kinda spooky if you ask me. There's nothing spooky about a little summer shower. Maybe it's just a witch thing. I wouldn't worry too much. As long as we stay out of the lake and don't fly any kites into the middle of the storm, everything will be just fine. You look over to see Ella and Ezzy inflating a small water balloon and unspooling a long cable. Don't mind us, just conducting a quick little experiment, nothing to worry about. Trust me, I'd never fly a kite in the rain. They're so hard to control, but a hydrogen-fueled high-altitude balloon, on the other hand, the sky opens up and begins to pour, soaking everyone in an instant. The bros immediately switch into mud mode, stopping in paddles and splashing each other. Miller grabs a stick and curves a deep starting line into the ground. $3 says I can slide farther than anybody in one jump. Feet first or head first? Psh, head first, duh, with a running start too. I'm more of a large-style mudslider myself, but I'll still take that bet. Lil, what do you say, you got the need for speed or what? Hang back with Sophie. Okay, as fun as that sounds, I think I'm going to see what Sophie's doing. Make some mud angels for me too. You find Sophie twirling in the rain, soaking it all in quite literally. Rain is maybe the most perfect thing there is, isn't it? There's something so magical about making something out of nothing. The way the sky just transforms air into pure water and gives it to us. But aren't you afraid of getting wet? Well, wet and dirty too. Water is clean, but when you mix it with the dirt, you get mud, I mean. You motion to Blake just as he gets a mud ball to the face from Miller. I'm not about to dive in it, but I don't mind the mud. Why would I? After all, in so many ancient myths, the whole world began as a ball of mud, pulled up from the bottom of an endless ocean. Sometimes it's a god or goddess who creates the world from mud, but my favorite stories usually involve beetles because they're such beautiful and mysterious little creatures. They hard shells like armor to the world, only to hide delicate little wings underneath. I guess I feel like that sometimes. That's beautiful. I guess I haven't taken a step back and looked at the big picture in a while. The scrub beetle was revered through ancient Egypt. They used to bury their dead with scrub amulets, thinking that they might just have the power to bring them back to life. I have to admit, I wore a beetle amulet or two in my time. but just for fashion. Here, these are for you too. Pepper reaches out and gives each of you a numbered badge. This beautiful scarab badge serves as evidence of your close connection with the natural world. Yay! I designed these ones myself, I hope you like them. Now, get in here out of the rain and let's dry you two off. With rain washing out your afternoon activity options, everyone funnels into the dining hall. It's time to take advantage of the dreary weather, and you know what that means. Return of the spooky stories. Who has a spine-tingling tale to tell their fellow campers? As always, a storytelling badge is up for grabs. How about we finally tell the slime-covered story of the giant swamp baby? The one who lives at the bottom of the lake. Dudes, you know that one makes my allergies act up because of this stupid seaweed or whatever. Are you saying you're allergic to the idea of a plant? No, I'm just saying. As far as I can tell, we already have enough giant babies around here, so I think it's time I told a story. My story is about friendship, beauty, and creeping death. Once you hear the story of the doll, you'll never look at your stuffed animals the same again. Now listen to her, Teddy. Nothing will ever come between us. I have a pretty good story, it's definitely completely true, so it might be a little too much for some of you to handle. The story about what happens when the lines between simulation and reality blend into a single plane. That's the one. I don't know, Ella, that's a pretty heavy story. It's not every day that an inventor gets trapped in an eternal maze. You know what to do, Lil. Hydration time. It's a tad hot in here. I'm gonna pick the maze story. Amaze me. Get it? Woohoo. Let's run right into this internal maze. For years, Eliza worked as a researcher in an artificial intelligence lab, trying to create the first truly smart machine. Her goal was simple. Create a program so smart that it could pass the Turing test, in which an AI is able to interact so naturally with humans that they can't even tell it's not one of them. However, creating a smart AI is much harder than it sounds, and Eliza struggled to create a piece of software that could understand the human condition well enough to imitate it convincingly. One day, trying new hardware in her lab, Eliza had a breakthrough. By harnessing the power of virtual reality, she could not only continue her work, but also record her own experience of being a human and turn it into data. After months of development, she had a breakthrough, and decided it was time to name her AI. She chose Mary after Marie Curie, the famous pioneering physicist. In enough time, Eliza would be able to teach Mary how to be a human by demonstrating herself in the virtual world she had created for them both. From there on, she only worked in VR, and soon she was doing almost everything else in VR too, desperate to gather as much personal data about being a human as possible. Soon her efforts paid off and Mary started becoming smarter and smarter, so much like her teacher that she might be the first AI to pass the Turing test after all. But Eliza, too obsessed with her work and progress, put aside her original Turing test goal, labeling it a minor distraction that was beneath her greater, more noble pursuit of knowledge and progress. Spending more and more time with Mary began to wear on Eliza, and her health deteriorated because she was not caring for herself adequately. One day she finally collapsed under the stress of her VR regimen. That day, Eliza's assistant found her on the floor, still plugged into all of her gear and monitoring systems. Eliza was taken out of the simulation and hospitalized for nearly a month. After time off, eager to continue her research, Eliza once again stepped into her virtual laboratory, only to discover that it was now very different. It was much, much more advanced. It was as if her work had continued without her, not just continued, but sped up. When she found Mary, she was shocked to discover that there was not just one intelligent program, but many millions working together. Mary, true to her training, had imitated Eliza so well that she also imitated her quest to create artificial life. When Eliza saw how far Mary had progressed, she became very worried. Soon she feared that she would not be able to continue her creation, or her creations, and they would overwhelm her and all of mankind. Eliza came up with a plan. She would create her own AI test, something new. A maze separating the simulation from the real world that was so complicated that only a true human could navigate it. However, Eliza was once again doomed by her own genius. She created a maze so complex that in testing it, she realized that she herself could not simply slip through, but she never backed down from a challenge. Trapped in a maze of her own creation, Eliza devoted herself to solving this puzzle. Days passed and Eliza grew tired and weak, but she was almost at a breakthrough. It was bittersweet. As she neared the exit, her heart sank. She turned to see Mary right behind her, and the legion of other A further back, all following in her footsteps. A new solution of Eliza's would be shared with her creation, ultimately unleashing Mary on mankind. In order to stop that from happening, Eliza would need to teach Mary to fail, not succeed. And so Eliza wandered, her artificial companion always by her side, her success as a scientist and a researcher locked away in a secret maze never to be discovered until one day, Eliza's assistant found her withered body, collapsed, lifeless on the floor of her lab. In her eyes, an image of the maze's exit closed. Her final vision was burned into her retinas. You have to admit, these humans tell some crazy stories. This one inspires you to sketch a quick portrait of Eliza, the scientist, in your grimoire. I didn't really enjoy that story, to be quite honest, but oh well. I'm way too old to be described out, and yet here we are. While you were sharing ghost stories and drinking hot cocoa, Nugget was outside among the treetops doing a bit of covert surveillance for you. You didn't even have to ask him to do it, he's just that kind of squirrel. Having shared in the profoundly odd vibes you got from that masked man and the convenient arrival of Edward McGrapkin, Nugget went on the lookout just in case. No Edward, but our orange super spy ended up seeing something else just as important and now picks up at you from the floor below with his eyes wide. Psst, I don't mean to alarm you, but... Alarm, we've got a major issue outside. Harland is just walking the campgrounds looking for you, as if that's a normal thing for a tall-growing creature to do among all these humans. We told him to watch out, so it must be important. How'd he look? I think the masked witch spooked him good. He seemed pretty freaked out. I told him I'd get you, and we could all meet. The garden right out back should provide some decent cover. Hopefully the rain has kept everyone inside and he hasn't been spotted yet. Thanks for watching my back, Nugget. This doesn't sound good at all. You casually make your way to the bathroom, but stealthily pass by it. When the coast is clear, and head outside the enormous garden. Harland looks out from around a large fern. You have to admit, his shade of green blends in rather well. Oh, thank my lucky stars, you're here. Look, I was wrong, okay? I said it. I should have gone home like you said. Are you happy now? Whoa, hey now. Being right for the sake of rightness was never my thing. You're making me sound like my mother. I just thought it might be dangerous here from us. Trust me, I would much rather be wrong, because if you don't feel safe, how do you think I feel? Did a camper see you, or was it that witch who won't show his face? No campers that I know of, but that guy with the mask will not leave me alone. He hasn't tried anything funny, but I swear he's stalking me. It's just creepy. Harland hunches over and extends a gloved finger all out at you, and what you have to admit is a great impression of totally not Edward McGrapkin in a purple robe. Join me and we'll rule the realm, an ocean for your kingdom with a castle under the sea. Every human your eternal slave for all time. Like, come on mister, buy a monster and drink fast first. There's coming on strong, and then there's this guy's approach. I finally gave in and beelined for the portal, but it was closed, which is not super convenient. Then I came to this garden to see what ingredients might help me cast a spell to get it back open, or at least get a message back to my family, but I'm not much for the craft. So now that you need something, you're finally ready to listen. Alright, Officer Acorn, spare me the tall squirrel routine. I already said you were right. Just help a fellow from the witching realm out, will ya? Seeing a mouse so far away from the water is always a strange thing. Harland looks very uncomfortable, his eyes darting back and forth around the edges of the garden. It becomes clear what you're going to have to do. I know a way back. I'll tell you if you promise to go immediately. No more arguments. Have you been listening? Yes, yes, like a million times yes. Okay, at the bottom of the lake, not far from your house, you'll find an old sunken safe. It's one of those huge old-timey numbers, the size of an expensive refrigerator. Say it ain't so you're drawing away our one way home. I hope you know what you're doing. Despite Nugget's protest, you do know what you're doing, the right thing. It's closed but unlocked. Open it up, step in, close it behind you, and when you open it again, you'll be back in the witching realm. You tricky little witch. You had a secret passageway available this whole time? I'm not exactly sure where it will take you, probably out in the woods, but then you can head straight to my house in the Coventry Hills, and my mom, Mila, and my grandma Gadji will help you out from there. Wait, 괰ᴏᴄɪᴜ, daytime TV star Mila? That's your mom? Yeah, lucky me. She's an inspiration to us all. I'll tell you what, if you're out of that shampoo or body scrub I found in the bank bathroom, there are cases of old 괰ᴏᴄɪ products in the basement of our house. Just ask and they're yours. And if you told my mom that I sent you and that you're such a big fan, I bet she'll personally tutor you in the ways of beauty magic. Just try not to trail any kind of mess into the house like you did over here. She's just kind of a neat freak. You scribble down your address on a piece of paper and hand it to Harland. He looks at it awestruck. Maybe I'll launch my own line. Slime by Harland? Goop? Those are terrible names. I was thinking something not disgusting, thanks to. Harland eyeballs the garden gate and prepares to make his move. Anyhow, see you guys back in the realm. Thanks for telling me about the secret passage, and tell that witch with the mask I said adios, creep. What the hell? And with that, Harland is gone, leaving you and Nugget trapped in the human realm without a way back. Gadji must know of another door too, right? Nugget just shrugs. Probably. You duck out of the garden and circle around the front of camp center, prepared to stroll into the dining hall, as if it's just another normal evening. Except it isn't, it definitely isn't. If you're gonna sneak around Camp Wupuichi, at least take a lesson from the master first. Oh, you turn around and Wilfred is standing in the rain, staring at you. If you had paid closer attention to my methods, maybe you wouldn't have just been spotted. Taken to a giant fish person. Oh my. It's not what you think. Okay, maybe it's exactly what you think. I don't know, but I guess I'm going to have to be honest with you. You don't have to be honest, but it would sure be nice if you were. So you've been instinctively trying to hold him down. Nugget forces his way up out of your bag. He's not pleased. You now list 5 spells that will make this kid disappear. Which one should I start to prepare? You hold Nugget up so that Wilfred can see him clearly. Wilfred, this is Nugget. Nugget, this is Wilfred. Okay, maybe you're a little sneakier than I gave you credit for, considering you managed to hide the fact that you have a talking pet squirrel. And with that little orange fluffy belly, he looks super squeezable. Well, see ya. Nugget hops back down into your bag, but not without making you both endure an epic eye roll. I wouldn't say that he's shy, but I guess he's not in the talking mood. Nugget is my familiar. You take a deep breath. Okay, here it goes, I guess. I'm a witch. I'm not even from this realm at all. I'm from another place, another world, somewhere alongside this one. I got here through a portal that I found in the woods back in the witching realm, just outside my hometown Coventry. So you're an honest-to-goodness witch with magical powers who can travel between dimensions, including a dimension with talking animals. And you choose to spend your time at Camp Wupuichi. In the middle of the woods, miles from the nearest decent restaurant, movie theater, or shopping mall? Hydration time. Sorry about that, my throat is sore. That's quite a lot of reading for me. With such a hot air here. I didn't exactly choose this place in particular. I kind of just wound up here. But I actually think it's a pretty great place to spend the summer. Where I'm from, going to camp is a big privilege. I'd tell you more, but I'm not sure we should be talking so loudly about it out in the open. Golly gee, it's not like you might get caught or anything. Psh. Listen, you just made this summer about a zillion times more interesting by being so sloppy with your sneaking so that they could discover you. Last thing I'd do is turn you in. I know what it's like to feel abandoned. No way I'm going to pass that on to another kid. Even if this is some kind of secret you have to keep to yourself forever, we're all hiding something. I get that. Your secret is safe with me, I swear it. I'm just glad that we became friends. I wouldn't want to do anything to mess that up. Good thing it's raining because you might just be starting to tear up a bit. I wouldn't want to mess it up later. If I'm gonna keep anyone else from finding out about where I'm from, I'm gonna need some serious schooling in the art of espionage. I'm glad we became friends too. My heart is just bursting with love and friendship. You stand awkwardly in the rain. For what seems like forever, the sound of rain cascading against the roof of campus center is finally caught by a familiar voice. Norm didn't cook a delicious dinner for us also that you took out stand here, filling up on water. You share a secret smile with Wilfred, the first of many to come. I thought for another time, perhaps. For now, you've got a secret to keep. Your heart is racing as you cross the threshold into the dining hall. You're so amped up that you don't even notice what's on the menu board, you just glide right into the room. Are we not going to even discuss which human delicacies you will be filling your bag with this evening? Words fly out of you so fast it blows Nugget's fur back. We just helped Amos escape a scary witch by transporting between the realms, after which we were almost exposed to all humankind for practicing the craft and getting seen. And we choose to tell the truth, which we definitely weren't supposed to do, which puts us in a very difficult situation, trusting them to keep our secret. But did we really have a choice? I mean, like, really? Okay, first of all, what's with all this us and we talk? And besides, if one kid at a summer camp thinks they know a witch, is it really gonna send the word spinning off track? I think you're going to be just fine. And I'm not saying that just to get you back on track and up to the buffet line, not entirely anyway. You really think things will turn out okay? I've been having such a good time the past few days. I'd hate to cut it short now. Cross my heart, don't make me say the rest. Okay, phew. Now that Harland is off traveling safely back home, we can stop worrying about walking into an enchanted waste hazard zone, which is good. Now we just wait for that ⴰᴅᴜ jerk to get bored reliving his youthful glory days. And move on to whatever dumb plan he has and we'll really be in the clear. Nugget has stopped paying attention to you and has locked his eyes onto tonight's dinner. Drew is already pulling around his feet. A loaf of meat! Back home, loaf of meat is Nugget's absolute favorite food. Gadget's loaf is the bomb, but Mila finds it too tacky and retro to serve on the regular, and so it has become a rare treat. Next thing you know, you're having to hold Nugget down in your bag while you fill up your tray with loaf, peas, carrots, and steaming mashed potatoes. Of all the things to blow your cover, a talking squirrel burrowing darkly into a giant meatloaf and declaring, "I live here now," would at least be a funny way to go out. Luckily, he can be a simple squirrel, and you keep him at bay by showing a large helping into your bag before joining your bunk at the table. You lost you there for a minute after that spooky story, thought you might run back to the bunk to get some protective charms. At least that's what I was thinking of doing. Everyone likes to criticize me for being on edge and wanting to go home, but then we dip back into a second round of literal nightmare fuel like no big whoop. That's a really good sci-fi premise. A psychic trauma insurance agency who has to fight ghouls and ghosts in order to keep the rates low. Poltergeist meets Repo Man. Summer camp. As the sweet smell of buttery mashed potatoes rises from your plate, the sounds of the room and the old silly camper conversation combine into a beautiful chorus of a fun and friendship. This is what it's all about, this feeling surrounded by your new friends. And drink a fine dinner together on a rainy evening, you finally get it. It's sublime. This is what brings all of these kids back year after year. This is why their parents and their parents' parents handed down the tradition of camp fee through generation after generation, because it's just plain awesome. Things around you fade into silence. It's like you've left your body and are hovering among the rafters, quietly watching it all play out, except, no wait, it really is silent. Only the sound of rain hitting the roof of the dining hall remains. As you turn and look around you realize that the entire room and the rain in it have frozen in place. Hello? Behind you, you hear the door of the dining hall swing open. Hello again, Lil. You turn to face the voice behind you, and sure enough, ⴰᴜᴜ. Nugget pops out of your bag and surveys the room, noticing the statuary that was a bustling dining room only moments ago. Oh, crap. He eyeballs the masked man. This buffoon. I suppose we can dispense with the clock and dagger theatrics at this point. It was fine while it lasted, no? No. I think someone who attended this summer camp would know better than to call harassing campers from behind a weird mask fun. He certainly knew arts and crafts. The dark stranger removes his mask and cloak, and sure enough, ⴰᴜᴜ stands before you. I'm sorry if I haven't provided enough excitement for you, but matters not. You must know deep down that you will grow bored of this human life soon enough. A witch has no place here among these simple, clumsy children, especially not a witch with such abilities as yourself who moves between realms at will. They don't deserve you. How about you go pound the sand, pal? You might have these folks fooled, but we know that you're just another run-of-the-mill cranky old witch. You can't help but follow Nugget's lead. This McGrabkin guy isn't going to ruin Loaf of Midnight. Listen, creep, somewhere along the way you've gotten the wrong idea about me. Whoever you think I am or want me to be, I'm not. Why don't you just leave me alone and try to enjoy my dinner? If it's summer camp fun you crave, how about we continue the storytelling session from before? Or, I don't know, you could buzz off. This ain't the 50s. Kids these days are taught the difference between respecting their elders and talking to strangers, and you're about as strange as they get. Edward ignores you both. He struts through the dining hall unnoticed by the frozen campers and counselors, picking bites of food off their plates as he goes. There once was a young witch, living a normal life with their normal family in the lovely little witching realm. They were a curious witch, naturally talented but uninterested in fulfilling the stifling expectation of their family. Uninterested in being just like everyone else and fitting in and being a good witch. He sounds like a real dweller, let me guess. The girls didn't appreciate what a nice guy he was either. This young witch had a feeling, deep down, that there was more to this world and that somehow they were connected to it all. One summer day, this young witch had finally had enough. They were sick of walking the same path as everyone else. They could see where it was taking them, but had no desire to arrive at a destination. And so this young witch made that choice. That day they decided to turn around and simply walk away. They would carve their own path, not because they were told to do so, but because they could. Yada yada yada, and that young witch was you. That young witch was both of us. Edward Stone changes from playfully sinister to just plain mad. Don't you get it? We're the same. We might have different names, been born to different times and different families, but I can feel the power of your craft radiating off of you. It's very familiar to me. Spoiler alert, I know how your life will go. I have lived it once. And oh, was it a life indeed? Don't you want to know what destiny has in store for you? No spoil. Too bad, of course you want to know. We all do. You pretend that you're one of these humans, you hide your craft and deny your powers, but the heat of your witching soul will simmer, bubble, and rise inside you, and eventually it will boil over. Unless you do something about it right now, I can help you. You realize that you're not like them, as hard as you may pretend. I know you do. You're better, smarter, stronger, able to bend the word into whatever shape you'd like it to appear. And one day, instead of calling home to mommy and daddy when you fall and get a boo-boo, you look to yourself and grow up. Whoa, Grabs, you should chill with the mockery. Didn't anyone tell you children are our future? First things first, before we leave this place. You must raise your hand, hold a spell in your mind, and kill this obnoxious orange chaperone like I killed the giant bird that my parents sent to bring me home. Go to hell? No one touches Nugget. The rabbit bear was their familiar, and you killed him? Nugget shudders at the thought of his own paws being replaced by little oven meats, as cute as that might be. I don't need human friends or animal friends. Mission accomplished. I don't see any humans or animals clamoring to be your friend in the first place. This witch is crazy. Don't you see what he's doing? Trying to mock me, trying to put me down, trying to diminish my abilities. Well, you make it so easy for me. This is how they control you. What the hell? I'm not crazy, I'm not some old fool. I spent my whole life seeking truth, and I've come to understand the relationship between their arms better than any witch who walks this earth. In my travels, I've learned from master spellcrafters and tasted potions that give me powers beyond what my young mind had ever dared to even imagine. Come with me. Learn with me, leave these distractions behind and take your place with me in a coven of witches devoted to knowledge and power. You will join us above witches, above humans, and you will live forever if you want to. I know I'm only a kid, and sure I might not know everything you do, but I know that nothing is forever, except maybe this conversation. So here's my answer. No. Bye-bye now. It's only a question until I decide that it's an order. Please, think wisely and answer again. You heard the answer. I can promise you it's the only one you're going to get. I'm not speaking to you, creature, but I'm speaking to you, cretin. And I'm telling you, as clear as I can tell it, get lost. We heard your story and it sounds to me like there are two world realms of people who don't want you. Gosh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because you're arrogant, cruel, and abusive. Maybe it's because you think you can intimidate whoever you want into being your purple pajama apprentice. Maybe it's because your breath smells. To be perfectly honest, I don't even care. Now take your eternal life and spend it researching dental hygiene. Or else things are about to get nasty around here, you heard? What a sassy nugget. I can do nasty. Nugget turns back to you, a direly serious look on his face. Okay, Lil, you heard him. There's only one answer that this guy is going to understand. Remember when your mom picked up that stalker and they taught you that secret spell that you were instructed only to ever use in self-defense? Well, I think this is close enough. It's time to show this guy some first pulse of fury. Just remember, mister, you're forcing me to do this. Oh, Clash Claw. Let's go with the spell. Pum, 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 pum. Oh, wait. Gotta be a bit more precise. Okay. You square your feet and dig in, and then thrust a claw-like hand toward the dwarf Magarapkin from across the room, careful to avoid any collateral counter damage. The bright orange specter of a giant squirrel paw extends out from your own hand, rushing toward your enemy. It's your first ever battle spell, but it feels right on. Eat paw, creep! Edward stands still, not so much as stepping to the side as the spell connects directly with him. He winces briefly as the claw connects, but he doesn't fall or even stagger. Well, I must say, I expect something much tamer from such a young witch, especially with how softly they raise children in the witching realm these days. That wasn't half bad. But still, you can think you could just kill a master of the craft like me with your first strike, or did you? So naive. Again. Wait. Hide enough? Not exactly. But I have heard you. You've turned down my offer, your mind is closed. It was always a possibility that I was prepared for. In which case, you leave me no other option. I would just have to drain you of your power and leave you lifeless. I could use a spark like yours to ignite a lovely little bomb, and then send it back to the witching ground to show them what I think about their prophecy. Prophecy? Don't get distracted, not now! Edward opens his own grimoire, a horribly looking tome, bound in leather and bedazzled with human teeth. Before you can recast, he makes his move. Pyrolance! A plume of smoke rushes out of his grimoire and swirls in the air around you. It takes the shape of a giant vampire bat, flapping its leather wings, its huge fangs spread and ready to strike. I'm sorry to say, but what's about to happen to you will really suck. The bat snaps at you, fangs out, rushing right toward you when it jumps between the two of you before you can tell him to run away. The bat's fangs drive into his small orange body. Oh, what? That was a terrible pun. But his eyes close, and as the giant vampire bat dematerializes, you watch it pull Nugget's sassy essence right out of his body. Limp Nugget lays in your hands, you hold your breath, feeling for his little heartbeat, but it doesn't come. You monster! You place Nugget's body on the table next to your half-eaten dinner and take up your grimoire, again furious. The only monster in this room seems to be vanquished. It feels 100 degrees hotter across the room. Edward laughs as your rage builds. The air swirls around you, throwing napkins and silverware off the table flying across the room. Face it, Lil, it's over now. You can cast that spell as many times as you want. You can defeat me, the prophecy is a joke. Stick it up your nose! Tears stream down your face, you think of Nugget laying in your hands, your anger spills over. You'll go out swinging if that's how it has to be. Let's go. Nugget baby, what the hell? I'm gonna destroy you. Again, you send your battle spell at Edward, but this time it's twice as big and goes doubly intense. This time, however, he reaches out a pale, bony hand into the air in response. When the spell gets to him, he waves it away, diverting it to the side like he's swatting a fly. Pfft, say goodbye! Edward opens his grimoire again, but before he can recite a word, a loud thud cuts through the silence of the room. Edward stands perfectly still, before crumpling to the ground in a pile. Behind him stands Norm, holding a huge cast iron skillet in his hand. Oh! Sir, I'm late. There's a lot of dishes to do in this place. Norm? What? You're too adamant to ask the obvious question, what in the world are you doing here? And did you just? Even a powerful witch can't endure the all-frying pine to the noggin. Well, not when he breaks his own defense enchantment by removing his mask to show both. Arrogance is incredibly dangerous. Norm calmly walks across the room, which is still completely frozen. He gives you a big bear hug, his huge arms wrapping you up as tight and cozy as one of his famous burritos. For a second, you're taken away someplace safe, but when it's over, you look. Oh! Oh! I cannot see what I just went through, but I guess we look it over Nugget. Now listen, it's not as bad as it seems, I swear. Norm picks up a Nugget, who looks even smaller and frailer in Norm's huge hands. It's bad, but not that bad. I've got just the thing out back in the garden for such an emergency. I can fix this, okay? Norm looks hazy through your watery eyes. What choice do you have? So you nod in agreement. But here's the thing, in a couple more minutes, the spell that McGrab can cast that froze everyone in place is going to wear off. And when that happens, you, me, and Nugget are going to be the only ones that know what happened here. And it has to stay that way. That means that you need to sit down in your chair, pick up your fork, and go back to enjoying the delicious dinner I made, like it's any other normal night at camp. Can you do that? I just don't understand. How did you know? Why did you help? Who are you? If it was that obvious, I wouldn't be much of a secret agent now, would I? A secret agent? Are you from the witching around too? No, I'm not a witch, but I know a few, and I've learned a lot from them. This place can be, well, it's complicated, but it's more than just another summer camp. This is a very special place. I've been watching in on assignment from a special task force that I'm a part of. I feel better on not knowing. It's that way by design. You will learn a lot more about it from me, I promise, but not right this second, because one sassy little squirrel depends on some urgent care and I'm going to give it to him. Luckily, my garden is full of useful ingredients, but you know that already. It's not just a coincidence after all. Gyepi done the art style of the game. Looks cool. Hi Pachi, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, I really like it. It kinda reminds me of some cartoons I used to watch back in the day as a kid. With a different art style from what I would usually pick in games. But if everyone is frozen, how did you... I've been waiting for this day for many years. I've been waiting to meet you. Lil, and the entire time I've been preparing. I'm sorry I wasn't earlier, but these things are hard to time exactly. But I had a tip from an excellent source. And I knew something was up, so I was never far. I had to keep a low profile, and so do you. Seriously, kid, don't wave your grimoire around and show it off to people you just met, no matter how delightful they are. True. Look over at Edward's body, but it's gone. Only his mask remains, discarded on the floor of the dining hall. Don't worry about him, I've already put in a call for reinforcements. He can run, but he can hide, not from us. Not that he has finally stepped out of the shadows. We'll catch him soon. Norm heads to the door with Nugget. On his way out, he steps on Edward's mask, smashing it to bits. You're a good kid, Lil. Don't let this spoil your summer, and tell God Jay said hey. With a final wink, Norm and Nugget are gone. You look around at all the kids, who are still frozen in place, unaware of what has been happening around them. You wipe your tears on your sleeve and sit back down in your seat. While you have a moment, you take a deep breath and close your eyes. Are you crying? When you open your eyes, the dining hall is full of life again. Ruby is staring at you, her face taking a very peculiar pose. Crying? Who? Me? No, I just... Ruby, chill. I can't believe it. Who are you, Sid? My first year at camp, just a few nights in, I realized that I was meant for this place. Coming to this camp, it's my destiny. I loved it so much it brought me to tears. I could barely eat dinner. Come to think of it, it was even middle of night back then too. I remember the way Norm chops up the little green peppers and sprinkles them on top. And looking down at them, while I tried to hide my face, anyhow. I cried into my dinner for sheer love of camp, and you mocked me mercilessly. But now it's just no big deal. Let people cry at dinner and go and mock it? What's next? The end of pranks? Oh, you're the girl who loves camp so much it makes her cry? I thought that was a legend, like just some made up story like the Swan Baby. Dude, I swear I saw that Swan Baby. I mean, I guess I really do love camp. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to bring you down. Don't apologize, I love camp too. Me too, why do you think we're all here? To be fair, my parents make me come here, but oh, I love it too. Everyone spontaneously starts to cry and laughs at each other for it, and cries a little harder while they do. Sophie leans over and gives you a big hug. She's no ex-marine, but it's a darn fine hug nonetheless. Oh geez, Robbie, see what you did? That was years ago. I've grown up since then. Sid bows onto the hug, followed by the bros, the twins, and Wilfred. Finally, Robbie joins in too. Now we're all the camper who loves camp so much it made them cry. For the record, I love camp, but I'm not crying. Miller jabs his fork into Blake's leg, and he begins to stop with everyone else. What the hell? Okay, fine, I'm the girl who cries at camp too. Across the room you see Norm walk back into the dining hall and take up his position behind the counter. Outside, the rain stops. Norm throws you a big thumbs up and smile. It has only been 3 days, but Camp V has already taken up more space in your mind that you ever imagined a place could. You look forward to all the memories you'll make with all of your friends, but especially someone in particular. The end. Oh, is that so? It's not gonna show how we returned home and whatnot. I see you can befriend more people too, like other characters. I'm gonna try doing that right now. Like, closer friend here was the short one. The short guy. I'm gonna try going for someone else. Wait. I cannot skip. Oh, okay. The deaf doll. I got a soft spot in my heart for old creepy dolls. One night a young girl, Victoria, was trying to treat this very area by horse-drawn carriage on her way home from 2 countries over where she was visiting her sick grandmother. It was a dark and foggy night, much like tonight and hard to see far ahead, but that didn't stop Victoria's father from pushing the horses faster down the winding road. Suddenly they came upon a pack of wild dogs, feasting on some lucky prey. The dogs ran after the horses, spooking them and sending them off course, and into the woods where the carriage hit a rock and cracked its wheel. As Victoria's father quickly chased the dogs away and replaced the broken wheel, Victoria peeked through the carriage curtains, and in the faint torchlight she saw something strange. She heard a faint noise in the distance. Voice in the distance called her name, Victoria. There on the ground abandoned in a pile of dirt and twigs she saw it, a beautiful porcelain doll. Dressed as a proper privileged girl, as clean and tidy as the day it was purchased. Victoria slipped out of the carriage and picked up the doll. She showed it to her father. "Daddy," she said, "this adorable doll seems to have gotten lost. Might I take it with me and keep it safe?" "Oh, goodness," of course her father said. The next day, Victoria and her new doll sat in the front yard enjoying a tea party for 2. They sipped Earl Grey and nibbled on fine finger sandwiches, until they were suddenly interrupted by the arrival of a stranger. It was a girl Victoria had never seen before, who had simply walked up from down the road. "I'm Carmen," said the new girl. "I see you have found my doll. I lost it in the woods and had given up on seeing it again. But now I can see it is being cared for, perhaps better than I ever did." "I want you to have it," Carmen proclaimed, "but don't ever let it out of your sight. It is a precious thing, that doll. A gift to me and now to you. It deserves nothing less than love." And so Victoria loved the doll. As Carmen had instructed her to do, she took it everywhere, told it stories, and slept with it tucked beneath the covers with her every night. But while the doll was safe, Victoria was not. One day Victoria fell sick, much like her grandmother, but her condition was even worse, and her father decided that she must immediately be rushed to the hospital. In the panic and hurry, Victoria's doll was left behind. After a week-long coma, Victoria awoke. Her first concern was not for herself or her health, but she wanted to know, where is my precious porcelain doll? Her father worked with guilt for leaving it behind, raced home to fetch the doll. But as he held it in his hands, ready to bring it back to his beloved daughter, he felt a chill run through his body. A deep emptiness overtook him. As he gazed into the doll's dead glass eyes, he wondered, could it be connected with his daughter's illness? Worried for his daughter's health, Victoria's father locked the doll in the basement and headed back to the hospital, prepared to lie about the doll being stolen or accidentally destroyed by a servant, but when he arrived, there was Victoria in her hospital bed with her new friend Carmen, and the very doll that should be locked in the basement. "Look what Carmen brought me. She thought it would help me feel better," said Victoria. His daughter looked pale, her eyes dark and sunken, but she was smiling, clutching her doll. Confused and scared, Victoria's father ripped the doll from her arms and grabbed Carmen by the wrist, dragging her into the hall. "Who are you? Who sent you? How did you get in my home, and how did you find this doll?" As he shouted questions at Carmen, she really got free and hissed at him, then ran down the hall and around the corner. Unable to find Carmen, Victoria's father marched through the hospital, down several floors into the basement until he came upon a fire incinerator. In a moment of fury, he swung open the door and threw the doll into the flames. Just as the doll caught fire, there was a shriek, not from the incinerator but from the room next door, the morgue. Victoria's father rushed over to find a shocked-looking coroner standing in front of a row of doors. "It came from there," said the coroner, pointing to a closed cubby door on the wall. Hesitantly, he opened it up, revealing a sheet-covered body lying inside, some poor deceased soul awaiting burial. The coroner reached in and slid the body out. It didn't move, not even a twitch. Delicately, he pulled back the sheet covering its face. Her? There lay Carmen, the girl with the doll, but not as Victoria knew her, no. This Carmen was shriveled, old, and twisted, her face frozen into a scream. "We found her by the side of the road, but a few weeks ago," said the coroner, "no one came to claim the body. No family or friends to speak of. Do you know her?" "No," said Victoria's father, covering the awful face back up. "I've never seen this woman," he remarked, and he left to return to his daughter. Gripped by this horrific tale, you sketch a picture of Ruby's doll into your grimoire. Creepy. I like this story a bit more. And we thought to be this creeped out, and yet, here we are. While you were sharing ghost stories and drinking hot cocoa, a nugget was outside among the treetops, doing a bit of covert surveillance for you. Okay. We went through this part already. Okay, you get duck out of the garden and circle around to the front of the camp center, prepared to stroll into the dining hall, as if it's just another normal evening, except it isn't, it definitely isn't. No, it's the same. Wait. I wanna try restarting then at this point. Let me see if there's any change when we get to be closer to someone else. Come on, let me skip. This surely will take a bit of time. I enjoyed this game overall. It was quite laid back, even though I expected a bit more of it. And I also expected like to be able to see our family again there. And an eventual return home. Like, it was as if it ended a bit abruptly for me. I think you look good. Check this out. It's also a shame we cannot skip quicker. I would personally prefer that a lot. But we're gonna figure it out slowly. Sleeping potion. Like, from what they mentioned in our family here, it seemed like our mother spent some time before at the camp. I wonder if she's directly linked to that guy that protected us, perhaps our father or something else. I don't know. I wish we had a bit of more of clear explanation to it. Okay. Slowly, quietly, we will get there to the choices. After we figure out of the possible best friends here, I'm gonna end the stream because I'm a tad tired, more than tired actually. My throat hurts so bad. I will try drinking as much as I can after the stream. I wanna catch up with the streams for good also, so I'll see if I can stream tomorrow as well. Preferably, I will. I also want to hold a bit of a longer stream once again. Once it doesn't feel as hot in this room, because I can't really stand it. Like, as mentioned before, we got the air conditioner, but it's not going directly in this room, the fresh air, so a bit difficult for me. And yeah, this art does look like straight out of some American cartoon from some time ago. It's interesting, like very different from the art I saw so far in visual novels and storage games overall, that I did try myself. Okay. Let's all right here. While everyone is waiting for you to react, you casually slip one hand down into your bag without looking up. You bark an order to whoever is listening. Ketchup! The other campers look at each other confused. Yumi's direction is working. Ketchup Lay hands you a bottle of ketchup and steps back in line with his bros. The three stand arms crossed, waiting to see what you plan to do. Meanwhile, digging around in your bag with your other hand, you find Nugget and snap your fingers in front of him. Under your breath, you whisper downward, "Let's slow this down." Not typically the most obedient familiar, Nugget decides to help you out this time. You only get so many of these flowers before you have to let me out of here. You know, you should be casting your own spells. Into your greedy little hand, Nugget shows the three ingredients from your alchemy. You grind the ingredients together as you remove your first From your bag, open your eyes, lift your head, and look straight at Norm. Hit me. Norm's look shifts from silly to skeptical, but that doesn't stop him from winding up and tossing a torch your way. I think we did read through this already too. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now we're at the part that interested me actually. The choices. Okay. Music and dance. Bluish purple. I can work with that. I'm gonna go super quick trade. Gonna see what happens if I get closer to C this time. If the ending changes, then I'm gonna unlock the waters. If it stays the same, I'm gonna end the stream here because I don't really care about being a closer friend of the waters if nothing changes, so. Next time I'm gonna check before the actual stream if the game does have multiple endings or else. Goodness. So unprepared I was. At the very least, I can learn from my mistakes once again. But I don't think it's gonna take too much time either way, so. Let's proceed. There we go. the Yaki toilet. Due to that lake being taking a shower. Due to reading about all that meets there and getting hungry once again. Goodness. He is hungry. I sketched it so badly, still to work it. Goodie. Okay. We're getting closer to the ending. We can do it. And to be quite honest, I understand it was on purpose, but that witch guy, the old one, was so annoying and creepy. I didn't want him at all in the story, honestly. I don't know. I know they had to change the pace to liven it up a bit, but still. I disliked him so much. Okay. Bit more. We're almost there. Come on, come on. We can do it. I think we're gonna have as best friend Ruby too, not Sid. At least it feels like that to me. Popcorn. Okay, the spell. Whip. Whoop. Work it. There it is. Our sassy friend. Taking care of their skin. Skills, that is. Does that count as skin? Go. Go away, creep. By the way, my favorite design was of the main character here. And of personality is obviously Nugget to me. Like, he's round, he gets mad, he's always hungry. He tells us when to stop, even though we don't listen to him. Best boy, Nugget. And he even does get used as a phone, so he's even useful. Can you ask for more? I don't think so. He's fluffy, he's big, he's round. And he eats our food. But still. Oh? What is this? Oh, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. Would like to ⴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ. No. Oh, let's do it better. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, okay. Okay. There comes the creep. So annoying. Keep your badge for yourself. Goodness. That badge was so creepy. Oh. Oh wow. Oh, come on. What? Really now? What does it want from me? Perfection? Oh, thank you kindly. Goodness. Let's go play in the mud, I guess. Like some piggy. Oh, I was saying the same. What the hell? A piggy badge. Okay, we did read through that story already. Creepy. Let's see where this takes us. I knew from the moment you arrived, you're not just another camper. Okay, Ruby it is. You turn around and Ruby is standing in the rain staring at you. Sure, might attract a certain offbeat type of kid at Camp ⴄᴏᴍᴍᴜ, but that's what makes this place great. Being open-minded and accepting is one of the most revered tenets of the camp with philosophy. But there's offbeat, and then there's conspiring with giant fish people. It's not what you think. Okay, maybe it's exactly what you think, I don't know, but I guess I'm going to have to be honest with you. Goodness. I had to drink before I die. Yes, so. All is goody. Thank you. Water it was. Okay. The dialect seems to be the same. Different to maybe, secret friends like are we. But how could you have known it was there? How could anyone know more about camp? We than me, when they've never even been here before. Trust me, I can say with absolute confidence that no one knows more about this place than you. Your dedication to camp is inspiring. Those pages just news to me. I just figured out that the paper you found was a magic spell like this. You thought that your Umar and sure be the contents. When one of them was hidden in the summer camp is as much a mystery to me as it is to you, and I would love your help getting to the bottom of it, but it's probably not safe to talk much about it out in the open. Okay. Okay. We're best friends with Ruby now. It doesn't seem like it's going differently too. Whoa. I do apologize from that little Colkin theater from before. I needed hydration. I swear, if I did go through all of the story once again for literally nothing, because it will end the same way, I'm gonna get so mad, so mad, so mad. But like the part he salted nugget, it makes me so mad, it makes me rage so much. I would even start stating a thing about it. Because we do become here and not violent. It's not violent stream. But it may be a comfy violent stream, why not? At the very least I defeated him and Nugget is fine. Even though I would love to see Nugget once again like his sprite once he gets back to us. But well. Goodness, it's literally the same, but the picture in the end. Like, goodness! I went through all of that for basically. Well, it's a good picture, at the very least. A nice one. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this game. I did, but as I mentioned before, I expected a bit more out of it this time, honestly. Yeah, I was expecting more from it. Aside from the fact that the ending felt a bit rushed to me, and I would have loved to see me return to my place with the family and whatnot, and get some explanations coming to our father maybe, and also who was the guy working as a chef, why did he protect us, and also how was our mother linked with that place. But yeah, still, it was enjoyable, thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you. It is always appreciated to have your company over here. And now please do stay for the raid. We're gonna raid someone. Still has no idea whom, but we're gonna see about it. Okay. Let me see. Let's see who's streaming right now. I wanna find some comfy stream once again today. So found home to raid, cinnamon buns. Please to spam away this message. As per usual, Gyepi raid for Gyepi day, so that the streamer will have a Gyepi day. We're gonna raid ⴰᴄᴍᴍᴜ that is currently playing untilted this game. It seems to be complicated, so I'm really up for that, so let's begin the raid. Thank you so much for keeping me company once again, I really appreciated it. I appreciate it each time, it counts really a lot to me. And tomorrow, I believe we're gonna try completing marathon game, the written game. Sleepy writing game with comfy vibes, but still, that feels a tad difficult to me. We're gonna see each other tomorrow. Bye bye!